This lesson is on parallel and perpendicular line equations. Let's take a line. Say we start at positive 1 as our y-intercept and we travel up 2 over 3. That's the same as going down to left 3. So that slope is going to be 2 over 3. How do we get a parallel line? Well, the angle has to be exactly the same. So say we started at this point, 1, negative 2, and went up and 3 up 2 and over 3, we'll also get a line that is going in the same direction and therefore will never cross the existing line, therefore being parallel. So the slopes have to be the same. Now let's look at perpendicular lines. So how would we take the existing line and make it perpendicular? Well, you'd have to look at the slope, the current slope, and rotate it by 90 degrees because perpendicular means the lines cross at 90 degrees. So let's take the existing slope and drop it down by 90 degrees, and so you'll have this. This means we're going down 3 and right 2. Now this is going to mean that you're going to have a 90-degree angle here because this difference is also 90 degrees. So how are these slopes related? Well, perpendicular lines have slopes that are negative reciprocals of each other. We can use that information to write equations that are parallel or perpendicular to a line without even graphing it. So if we want to find an equation of a line parallel to this, we first need to find its slope. So let's solve it for y so that we get it in slope in a y-intercept form. So that'll be 2y equals, now add x to both sides and you'll have x plus 7. And divide everything by 2, you'll have 1/2 x plus 7 over 2. And what's your slope? Well, in slope-intercept form, that's the slope. Slope is 1/2. So now if we want a parallel line, that means the slope has to be the same. So essentially, this question boils down to find a line that goes through negative 2, 3 and has a slope of 1/2. And we know how to do that using the slope point form. Here's our point, here's our slope. And remember, this formula just comes from the definition of slope. So let's plug it in. So we've got y minus 3 and 1/2 times x minus negative 2. So you've got y minus 3 equals 1/2 x plus 2. We could add the 3. We also have to distribute this 1/2 in. We can do that at any time. Let's just do that first. So 1/2 times x is 1/2 x. 1/2 times 2 is 1. Now we add 4 to both sides and we have y equals 1/2 x plus 4. Another example would be to write the equation of a line that's perpendicular. This is the same equation, and remember, all we needed to know from that was the slope, and the slope was 1/2. But a perpendicular line is going to have the negative reciprocal slope of the existing line. So essentially, we need a slope of negative 2 and a point of negative 2/3. So we can try the process again. So we get y equals negative 2x minus 1, and these lines will be perpendicular to each other.